It's here, finally! An FAQ for the Horus Heresy. It must be Christmas. Yes, Games Workshop have finally dropped an FAQ for the Horus Heresy. It's only taken nearly, 2 years? But we're finally there, and it's a substantial FAQ. Not just for the rulebook, but for the traders and the Loyalist books, as well as the legacy units and the Age of Darkness big book with Fulgrim in it. So we're going to jump over and we're going to have a little look at see what some of the changes are. So that's right, they've massive FAQ, and this could not have come at a better time. So as you can see, we've got an FAQ for the rulebook, the Liber Astartes Loyalist, the Liber Heretics, the traitors. There's a little bit of blurb. There's something about the an FAQ and errata for the Liber Imperium, the Mechanicus, and the Exemplar Battle books. So these are the sort of the Talons of the Emperor book, and the Mechanicus book, and the one with the traitor Fulgrim in it. We're going to have a little look at them as well. And then there's the legacy units. I'm not going to go over the legacy units. We're just going to stick to the core units and the two main books, Loyalist and Traitor. And then we'll look at the Age of Darkness as well, because there's a lot of cool things in there. So let's jump over to the rulebook first. So the Horus Heresy Age of Darkness rulebook. So we're not going to go over everything. We're just going to cover what is in pink, because pink is important right now. And basically, the first things first is reactions. So we're going to be adding the following to the beginning of the third paragraph. So when making a shooting reaction that allows a unit to make a shooting attack, that unit cannot use any special rules or abilities that would be used instead of making a shooting attack, i.e. such as the Battlesmith X special rule. Well, that makes sense, because the shooting reaction is a reaction that should imply that you're shooting. So using something like a Battlesmith where you're going to be fixing vehicles, that makes sense. Reactions in the assault phase. So change the sentence. So once the active player has resolved all charge rolls for that unit, whether successful or not, but before any models are moved, the reacting player may choose to expend one of the reactions for that phase to either have the unit targeted by that charge to overwatch or hold the line. So it kind of just cleans up the how and when things are done. So in basically this case, you declare to charge, you roll your dice. Before doing anything, the player then gets to react either to overwatch or to hold the line. Once they've done that, you then get to move your models forward, either into contact or you surge move forward, which is good. Dangerous terrain. Yep, this is a really good change. So a model is only required to make a maximum of one dangerous terrain test during that phase. Brilliant for assault marines coming down and then subsequently moving and doing all of their other good stuff later that turn. So really happy with that. Crew stunned. So if the vehicle is a zooming flyer, it must make a number of inches equal to the movement characteristic and cannot turn at all in until its next movement phase. That's cool. No one really uses planes, so no one cares. Gravitational pulse. So instead of rolling to wound normally with this weapon, any model without the vehicle, dreadnought, or automated unit type that suffers a hit from a weapon with this special rule must instead roll their strength on a d6 or suffer a wound. On a roll of a 6 always counts as a failure. So you have to roll under your strength. It's going to be pretty difficult because you've got to pretty much, get 4 or less. So there's a big substantial set of rules now for Haywire, which is really nice. We've now got an updated table, which is really good. So obviously, when you roll the hit for Haywire, 1, you roll a d6, or 1 has no effect. A 2 to 5, a model with this vehicle unit takes 1 glancing hit, and any other model suffers 1 wound. Only invulnerable saves or damage mitigation rolls may be taken against glancing hits or wounds inflicted by the result. If you roll a 6, it takes a penetrating hit, or 1 wound if it's another type of model. No saves or damage mitigation may be taken against a penetrating hit or wounds inflicted. So it's kind of cool. So Haywire now affects dreadnoughts. Really, really cool. So independent characters and infiltrate. So an independent character without the infiltration special rule cannot join a unit that is being deployed using the infiltration special rule. However, if a unit composed entirely of models with the infiltration special rule is deployed without making use of any of the benefits of the infiltration special rule, then an independent character without it can then join it. So basically, if you're not going to infiltrate, an independent character can join that unit. So Shock Pulse is being tidied up. Any model with a vehicle, dreadnought, or automated unit type that suffers a penetrating hit or unsaved wound from an attack with this special rule may only snap fire when it next makes a shooting attack, either as part of a reaction or during its controlling player's turn. Little spelling mistake there, not V, it's a C. But cool, we'll FAQ and FAQ. So that's pretty good. Obviously, we've got a little bit of designer's notes down here in blue. This is kind of cool. So blue, note that some rules such as drop pod assault rights of war or flanking assault granted by the outflank special rule override the restriction as noted in their rules. Brilliant. And then there's a lot of questions. So we're going to just go through and cherry pick some. Like I said, you can head over to the Warhammer community and check this out fully. We're just going to have a little look at some of the cool ones. So at the end of initiative step, there are no remaining engager models from either side in that combat. Are any remaining initiative steps resolved? Yes. I had this happen to me in a game, and it was like, it's now my initiative. There's nobody essentially within range. Can I still now pile in and fight? And we were unsure about that, and this now says that they can, so that was a really, really cool call. So yeah, there's a lot of cool ones there, and it's pretty good. So, pretty happy with that one. And it kind of just goes through a lot of this stuff. So that's a really solid one. So now we're going to go over to the Loyalist book. So the Loyalist book is a little bit sparse. There's not as many rules needed changed in this regarding compared to the Heretic one. So Legion Demolicus command squads are add infantry transport to this unit's special rules, which is cool. By the way, that's the same for both books. Deathwing Companion Detachment. While deployed, the entire unit gains a 4+ invulnerable save against shooting attacks and a 5+ invulnerable save against melee attacks, and any enemy models engaged with a model from this unit in an assault have their initiative reduced by -1, which is really cool, which is good. The Rights of War. So basically, this is for the White Scars. So all units composed entirely from models with the infantry unit type, excluding units with a unique subtype, in a detachment using this Right of War must be both given the Kashran and the Feel No Pain special rule. That's really good. Obviously, a little bit of a blue thing here. Medusa Immortal squads, they remove their breacher charges. They don't get breacher charges. And then this is the chaplain question is something that kind of come up in my heresy group, and it was really kind of funny. We were discussing what weapons can a chaplain take in regards to the power weapon, because it just says that they can get a power weapon. And they've clarified this, that it's a power sword, a power axe, a power maul, or a power lance. So you cannot take a power fist or a pair of lightning claws on your chaplain. Boo, hiss. That's a shame. Oh, well, never mind. Can a model with the independent rule with the bitter duty special rule join a unit that does not have the bitter duty special rule? Yes. Can a model with the independent Legion Astartes, Master of Legion, and bitter duty special rule select a retinue of any kind that does not have the bitter duty special rule? Yes. So, as far as I'm aware, the bitter duty is the destroyers, I believe. If that's the case, then independent characters that don't have it can actually join them, which is kind of cool. And that's basically the Loyalist book. So we're going to flip over for the Heretics, which is now what I play. So, Liber Heretic, again, the command squad, the command rhino has changed for both books. Carrying force, so change the second sentence. So, to activate this special rule, the controlling player must make a single psychic check using the leadership characteristic of any model in that unit that does not have an independent character special rule, unless the unit is entirely composed of models with the independent character special rule, in which case the controlling player may select which of these models' leadership characteristics is used. Okay. Well, that makes sense, so that's good. Venom spheres are, rather than poison 3+, they're now poisoned 3+. Cool, a little bit of change of English. This is also this one here down in blue, Zardu Leak. An interesting conversation we had as well in our little WhatsApp group for our Heresy players was discussing what and how this works. So if no one knows, Zardu Leak and the Cull Blade Slaves are now taken as one unit, but they have the rules that they're able to split and go their separate ways. But Zardak is a Master of Legion, pardon me, and therefore he can take a command squad. So how does it work for splitting? So basically, he can split and leave them. Note that he must start the battle with them and cannot join another unit until he has left the blades. So he can't leave, he can't join a tactical squad or a veteran squad or a Terminator squad or anything like that unless he leaves the slaves. Cool. He can be a leader of a command squad or a retinue, but the slaves stay with him, and he can't then leave the slaves or leave the unit until the retinue have been removed as casualties. So it kind of tidies that up, which is kind of cool because it kind of sort of was a first edition throwover and it kind of didn't work very well. Obviously, chaplains have been addressed here as well. The bit of duty and all of that kind of stuff has been as the same. Different question here. Does the Sons of Horus Merciless Fighter special rule come into effect in a turn when a disordered charge is made by a unit belonging to either player? Yes, it does. Good. This one I think is massive. Can a model that has a unit upgraded their bolter to have a Legion-specific variant weapon, such as the Iron Warriors model that has upgraded their bolter to a shrapnel bolter, take other war gear options which will require that model to have the original weapon, such as a bayonet or a chain bayonet? No. So, basically, let me have a read that again. Model that has upgraded their bolter to a shrapnel bolter, take other war gear options that were no. So, reading that, you can't put chain bayonets on shrapnel bolters. It makes sense. When an Iron Warriors unit with a vehicle type makes a shooting attack that allows defensive weapons to be used, such as the return fire and Overwatch reactions against a model with a Dreadnought automated vehicle building type, does the strength bonus granted by the Legion Astartes Iron Warriors special rule prevent weapons with a strength characteristic of 6 from making attacks? No. Cool. And that's the traders. So a little, not too bad, but just a little bit. So now we're going to go over and look at the Age of Darkness. So this is the Age of Darkness book. This was the one with Fulgrim as a demon in it. There's not much in it. So Legions Heretics, add the following to the start of the second paragraph. When selecting an army, all units with the Legion Astartes X special rule in a detachment can replace it with the Legions Heretics special rule. Add the following to the end of the third paragraph. If a model with the Legion Heretics X has one of the following special rules or war gear, replace each instance of the Legion Astartes X or Legion Astartes in that special rule or war gear with Legion Astartes X. So Legion Standard, Command Vox Relay, Apothecary Detachment, and the Tech Marine Covenant. It's cool. Kind of cleans that up a bit. Can a detachment with the Legion's Heretics faction select any right of war that are not corrupted rights of war? No. Okay, so you've got to be corrupted. Can a Legion Astartes Inducti template be applied to a unit with the Legion Heretics X? So, yay! Heretics can take Inducti. Happy days. So we're just going to, that was a pretty short and sweet, so we're going to have a look at some of the others. So for the Talons of the Emperor, basically, there's a couple of rules. So the Knight Vestal Covenant. So change the Vigilant Covenant special rule to a Knight Vestal Covenant is selected as any other unit using up a single force organization slot and brought in the same manner. However, before the first turn begins and any models are deployed on the battlefield, each model in the Knight Vestal Covenant may leave this unit and join another unit from the same detachment they were selected as being part of. Nice. So the Karen Pattern Acquisitor may exchange its Helion Heavy Cannon Array for a whole front mounted multi-melter. Nice. The Pursuit Carder is going to get a couple of different weapon options. Solar Auxiliary Liebenrust Strike Squadron can change the first option in the second bullet point to turret mounted Gravis Las Cannon for free. Just a quick note, the Mystery Army is probably 100% going to be Solar Auxiliary, and they will probably be out in a nice big army box in February next year. Pardon me. Change the second option in the bullet point to turret mounted Grav autocannon for free. So that's pretty cool. So it's really nice. Now, there is one thing that I do want to quickly, before we end up on this, and that is this little snippet right here. This little bad boy right here. The Knights, Errant, and Black Shields. This is kind of exciting and really, really cool. So in the previous edition of the Horus Heresy, we are presented rules for the Knights Errant and Black Shields. This PDF provides rules for several unique characters, but does not contain full rules for these iconic factions of the Age of Darkness. Instead, both the Black Shields and the Knights Errant will be presented as factions with complete rules in the forthcoming Warhammer, the Horus Heresy, Age of Darkness publication. So it's kind of cool that we do have like rules for them, and you can see that there's a lot of cool like pink everywhere, which is kind of nice. I'm not going to go through all of them because obviously there are some units, but we are going to quickly stick to 65 and just see exactly what they've done to Fulminators. So any model unit may exchange their targeter for one of the following. They get a power weapon for free. Oh well, that's amazing. But the good thing is Black Shields and Knights Errant are going to be coming as their own faction. That is so cool, especially if you want to play a Black Legion army. I'm umming and ahhing with doing a small Black Shield army as a Loyalist force, as a something of not playing Emperor's Children, which would be kind of cool. So yeah, it's going to be really good. So that is it. It's a massive, massive FAQ, and it's definitely needed. Really well done, GW. They kind of nailed a lot of the points. I'm sure there's probably a lot more out there, and if you know that there's some out there that they haven't addressed, leave it in the comments below and we can have a little chat about it, make a video about it, at least make some noise about it so the actual design team actually get to see. Remember as well to email their FAQ team and actually try to get them to address some of the points that you've got to make. And that's always the best way of doing it. But massive, really well done, and it is a substantial FAQ. So hopefully this is a lot more in the future, and we can actually start maybe getting one every 3 to 6 months. I would like one every 6 months just to address what's happening. But it's good, and it feels good knowing that we are getting some support. So if you like my content, please like, subscribe, drop a comment if you're a Horus Heresy player, and also please check out my members area and smash the button and come and join. I will be working on this bad boy, which is the next members only video, which is going to be pinning up a new Tyrannid. There's a video up there already, and the more and more videos I do, the more it becomes worth it, because it's only $4.99 a month, and you know, Mrs. Pointy is the only one that's supporting me right now. Sad times. But anyway, I will catch you all in the next video. I'll see you later, peeps. Goodbye for now.